Kia ora, welcome to today's video tutorial around mass calculations, sometimes called yield calculations. We're looking at the reaction between sodium metal and chlorine gas, giving us sodium chloride, and our problem today is calculate the mass of chlorine gas that is required to react with 2 grams of sodium metal. So the first thing we need to know here is a balanced equation for the reaction. So in this reaction, if we had 2 moles of sodium, it would react with 1 mole of chlorine gas to give us 2 moles of sodium chloride. So we've got our balanced equation there. The next thing we do is organise a graphic organiser or a small table in which we can put all the information that we know and the information we can work out and help us work out which steps and in which order we need to do our calculation. So we are interested in here in the sodium because we're given a mass of sodium, so we've got sodium in our table, and we need to calculate the mass of chlorine gas, so we're also interested in the chlorine, so put that in our table as well. Now you may recall that in the table we have an R for ratio, and that's from our balanced equation, and in this case we've got 2 moles of sodium reacting with 1 mole of chlorine, so our ratio is a 2-to-1 ratio. Now make sure you get those in the right column. It's 2 moles of sodium reacting with 1 mole of chlorine. And we can use that information in our calculation. The formula we're going to use is amount equals mass over molar mass. So we've got N, amount, measured in moles, equals mass in grams, over capital M, molar mass. So these are the formulas that this is the formula that we'll use anyway. Now what do we know? We know the mass of sodium metal, it's given to us, 2.00 grams, so we can pop that in our table. That's all the information we've been given so far, but we can use our periodic tables, which will always be provided with in any chemistry test or exam. We can use the periodic tables to work out the molar mass. So if we go to a periodic table, that's not our periodic table. Let's find a periodic table. Here we go. And here we have sodium, which has an average mass of 23.0 grams per mole, and chlorine with an average mass of 35.5 grams per mole. So if we just keep those numbers in mind, when we work out the molar mass for sodium, it's going to be 23 grams per mole, and chlorine, because there's 2 atoms of chlorine in each molecule, we're going to go 2 times 35.5, and our molar mass there is 71. Now we have enough information in the sodium column to calculate the amount of sodium. So that's going to be the first step in our calculation, step 1. From there we can use the ratio from the balanced equation to work out the amount or number of moles of chlorine gas. And then we will have enough information, we'll be down to 1 unknown, to work out the mass of the chlorine gas that will be required in this calculation. So let's have a look at the next page where we take that information across. Okay, so our step 1, we're calculating the number of moles of sodium, and that is mass over molar mass. Remember, you need to put your formula down first. Then substitute in your answers, so your information, and that is 2 over 23, and work out the answer. Now I've only recorded the answer to 3 significant figures. You can write down more if you want to, but please leave the longer number in your calculator. Don't take it out and put a shorter number in. It could affect the accuracy of your answer. From there, we've got our number of moles of sodium. We can go to step 2 where we work out the number of moles of chlorine gas. Now from the balanced equation we can see we've got a 2-to-1 ratio. 2 moles of sodium reacting with 1 mole of chlorine. So we've got the amount of sodium there. We're going from 2 moles down to 1 mole, so we want to work out the number of moles of sodium divided by 2. See, we're going from sodium 2 down to 1 in our ratio for chlorine. So we want to divide the amount of sodium by 2 to give us the amount of chlorine. And that gives us a result which is 0.045 moles. Okay, we can take that information now and calculate step 3, where we're trying to calculate the mass of the chlorine. So our mass of chlorine is N times big M, so we want our amount times molar mass. substitute the numbers in there at 0.0435. Now remember, you've got that number in your calculator. You have a longer version of it, and it might have several more decimal places after the 43, and we're multiplying that by the molar mass 71, and that gives us an answer of 3.09 grams rounded to 3 significant figures. This is our final step, our final answer. This is where we do our final rounding to 3 significant figures, and we round to 3 significant figures because all of our data has been provided to us in 3 significant figures, so it is appropriate to round to 3 significant figures. Thank you for watching this tutorial today. I hope you have found it useful.